take a look at the stunning result of PBB housemate Vivoree's transformation. Day 56 at the Bahay in Kuya, and the anticipated transportation of Vivoree has finally pushed through. Kuya brought a new team for Vivoree's facial cleansing, led by Dr. Mae Rosales-Sison, who is a consultant at the Extraordinaire Salon and Skin Care, and they took care of the young woman. The team was extra careful with her because of her young age, and made sure she got the best possible attention they could give. While Vivoree was busy with her transformation, the other housemates were already fixing up and putting on their A-game for a fashion show. After some final touches, Kuya revealed to Vivoree her transformation, and all her fans just lost it on Twitter. The girl looked like a young lady and she couldn't even believe it herself. They also brought in her mother, who was waiting outside the room, and she liked what she saw in her daughter. The living room was the housemates for their fashion show, and they flaunted their new looks along there. Vivoree was the last to come out of the room, the housemates still having no idea of her transformation. Jaws dropped when she came out, and the boys had the biggest smiles on their faces, as they saw a different girl in her pink dress. In the end, everybody was happy with what they got, especially Vivoree. They all got to explore a different side of themselves, and it was a very special moment for everyone. Invite you to watch the video. Viral man unbelievably asked a pregnant woman for proof of pregnancy on MRT. On public trains, the reserved seats are for the disabled, the elderly and for pregnant women. A pregnant woman passenger makes her way to the reserved seat on the train. But unfortunately, it did not turn out to be well. She shared her experience on social media with a rude passenger on Singapore's MRT. Maria Louise Das, on her Facebook page, inclusive with a photo, said that the man on the photo asks for proof if she really was pregnant. Just because she was not wearing maternity clothes and attempting to sit down on the seats being reserved at the MRT. On her post, she said, "Never thought I'd be the one posting something like this, but I want everyone to know. It's 10:20 p.m. and I'm on my way home from my appointment on the MRT, Circle Line. I walked to a priority seat as it was empty, and I politely asked this ridiculous prick standing right in front of the seat to excuse me, so I can sit down." The man replied, Das said, that he pointed on the seat's reserved sign with his eyes open wide. Das told him that she is pregnant. However, the man asked for proof of her pregnancy. She said on her post, "I said, who the hell are you to ask me for proof? Do you want to see my medical bills? My baby's ultrasound pics?" Then the man said that she was not even in maternity clothes. "Wow, I didn't know I had to look pregnant to be entitled to the seat." He then told me to shut up and sit down. I told him he was crazy and that I'm wasting my time even talking to him. He sticked out his tongue at me and mocked that I'm going through prenatal stress. Furious and shaking, I screamed at him to F off, and he pointed fake guns, his fingers, at my face and walked off. I'm so glad I took his picture right in his face and he gave me the permission to post it. Nobody should have to go through what I went through, that's why I'm sharing this. Fight for you rights, people. She also said in her post. Netizens saw the man behave disgustingly as he sticked his tongue out and pointing to the pregnant passenger fake guns, his fingers. The post of Das garnered 692 shares and made some commenters furious with this rude man. Invite you to watch the video. Breaking news: Vice Mayor got arrested at Ahang Airport being linked to Davao City bombing. Authorities arrested Vice Mayor Abdulwahab Sabal and his bodyguards who came from Taytay, Maguindanao. They were all captured at Ahang Airport after seeing an improvised explosive device, IED, with them, police stated last Saturday. At Ahang Airport last Thursday, two bodyguards of Sabal recognized as Malena and Nasser were captured around 1 p.m., police report from Maguindanao Provincial Police said. Also, the wife of Sabal was with him during the time of the arrest. A police report mentioned that the IED was made from a 60mm mortar round and there were also 12 plastics of shabu, 2 pieces of .45 pistols, an M16 rifle that were seized from them. Sabal was brought into Department of Justice, DOJ, in Manila for inquest proceedings and also at detention in Camp Crame in Quezon City. He was included in the narco list of President Duterte. Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act and illegal possession of firearms and explosives were the charges that Saville and his men has to face. He was, however, being linked to the Davao City bombing last September 2 that 70 got injured and 14 people passed away. A top police official said during his interview with Manila Bulletin said, "We received information of his links in the Davao bombing, but thus it's just information. It is yet to be validated. Invite you to watch the video." Ever wonder why there are no Mercury drugstores in SM malls? Find out the reason here. Over the years, people are wondering why they can't find any Mercury drug inside SM malls. Henry Caesar, who pioneered the establishment of SM stores, is a Chinese-Filipino business tycoon, is now listed as #1 billionaire in the Philippines. The man behind the #1 mall in the country was an ambitious man in his youth. He wanted so bad to be rich, and so he tried a lot of businesses, but most of them failed. Henry then thought of another business and an idea crossed his mind. The young businessman dreamed of having a small shoe store. Getting customers has been a struggle for him, but he noticed that Mercury Drug, which has been in the business for so many years, has many customers coming in and out of their store, so Henry approached the owner and asked if he can rent and place his small shoe store there, even in a small space. Unfortunately, the owner declined his request. With this incident, Henry promised himself that he should no longer let himself be embarrassed, and promised to never let Mercury Drug step into his life in the future, once he become rich. Looking back, you couldn't imagine that the richest man in the Philippines suffered from this terrible incident that maybe triggered him to strive more. Now, because of his determination and persistence, he is now owner of numerous malls, supermalls and supermarkets in the country, and owns 6 malls in China and 1 SM mall in Guam. You can observe that Watson's is inside all SM stores, which could be the mall's alternative for Mercury Drug. Invite you to watch the video. Stan Wawrinka upsets Novak Djokovic in final to take first U.S. Open title. After treading a gilded path to his 7th U.S. Open final, Novak Djokovic stumbled, literally, inside of the prize as Stan Wawrinka found the strength and conviction to beat the world no one in 4 pulsating sets, the last of them wreathed in controversy, on a warm September night. Patrick McEnroe, commentating in the ESPN box, shared the cynical displeasure of most onlookers when the defending champion, who appeared to be cramping, was granted a dubious medical timeout to have his toes tended to midway through the 4th set, shortly after being broken. Novak Djokovic pushes use of trainer to limit before U.S. Open final. Read more. It appeared to be a risible manipulation of the regulations, which say timeouts can only be taken for an acute medical condition that requires immediate attention. Wawrinka did not seem impressed, seeking assurance from the tournament referee, Brian Early, that all was above board, and shooting his opponent a knowing glance. "Sorry, man," Djokovic said to Wawrinka. For what, one wondered. They had been playing for 3 hours and 23 minutes, by a distance Djokovic's longest match of the tournament. "That was another example of a complete abuse of the rules," said McEnroe. "It's up to the officials to do something about it, and they just don't have the guts to do it." Otherwise, the final was a minor classic. Wawrinka won his 3rd major 6-7, 6-4, 7-5, 6-3 in just under 4 hours, with several passages of glorious tennis from both players. "I don't know what's happening right now. Novak, you're a great champion," Wawrinka said after the match. "We know each other since many, many years. I had the chance to practice with him and play him in big matches. This is amazing. I came here not expecting to win it, but I was trying to win every match. I am completely empty. I had to bring everything today." Advertisement. Djokovic paid tribute to his opponent after the match. "I cannot tell you that about their exchange at the net. It was a friendly chat. Congratulations, Stan. You were the more courageous player in the decisive moment and you deserved to win this title. He was the better player, tougher mentally. It was a fantastic couple of weeks for me. I didn't know if I should come a few weeks before because I suffered physically. In the last 50 men's slams, only the Argentinian Juan Martín del Potro here in the 2009 final has broken the hegemony of the old world, as George Bush Jr. used to call it, and, in another all-European final, Switzerland prevailed over Serbia. It was Wawrinka's first US Open, to go with titles in Melbourne and Paris, and his fifth victory in 23 matches against the world no one. Under the circumstances, it might have been the most satisfying. When Wawrinka beat Djokovic to win the French Open last year, he trusted his strong right arm, the one tattooed with Beckett's famous "fail better" quote. It did not click immediately there or here, but nor did it fail him when it mattered. After dropping the first set, he not only avoided embarrassment, he crushed the Serb to win. It was an extraordinary fightback. The heatwave finally broke, the lightest of zephyrs soothing the finalists' brows in ideal conditions, with the roof open and the court playing a little more quickly than in the humid conditions that had prevailed for much of the tournament. As at Roland Garros, Wawrinka started nervously, spraying shots everywhere, and Djokovic hit an ominous rhythm to go 3-0 up in under 10 minutes. But Wawrinka kept faith in his ground strokes, almost disregarding the circumstances. Where Gael Monfils had tried to rope-a-dope Djokovic in the semi-finals, Wawrinka was still going for the knockout. The champion inexplicably dropped his guard. A 134 mph serve earned Wawrinka a tie-break after he had played much of the set on his heels, but Djokovic played some sublime shots to take the set in his ninth shootout win over Wawrinka in 10 such contests, this time giving up just a single point. Advertisement. He moved to the second set comfortable in the knowledge that he was 51-0 at this tournament after winning the first set. Yet there was something in the still, early evening air to suggest drama. As he did in Paris, Wawrinka drew that single-handed backhand from its scabbard and painted the deuce corner on his way to saving 3 break points for 3-1 up just under the hour. Djokovic prowled the baseline, breathing hard and looking as if he was enduring some sort of private hell. Perhaps he was. Tennis at this level is no picnic. The Swiss, whose serve has been such a weapon here, hit his fourth double fault, and was hanging on it 4-1. Djokovic broke back but gestured angrily towards Boris Becker and his team as Wawrinka held to love for 5-4. A blistering forehand down the line earned Wawrinka 2 set points in the 10th game. Djokovic saved one of them to win a tense rally with a deft volley, but he shoved a forehand wide and they were a set apiece. The world no one smashed his racket to smithereens during the break. Who could blame him? Wawrinka saved 3 break points to hold at the start of the third after nearly 2 hours of tennis. At about this point in the semi-final against Monfils, Djokovic was almost out on his feet in the oppressive heat and humidity. Still, he had played only 8 hours and 58 minutes getting to the final, through 13 completed sets, because 3 of his 6 matches were incomplete due to a walkover and 2 retirements. Wawrinka endured nearly twice that, 17 hours and 54 minutes through 23 sets. Yet there was little between them in stamina and strength as each sought to win another 2 sets, preferably in a row. When the world no 3 broke in the second game of the third set, the odds swung sharply in his favor. Djokovic knew he was in trouble. Bundled out early at Wimbledon when ambitions of a calendar slam were still alive, and hobbled since with injuries to wrist, elbow and both shoulders, the proudest of champions would not lie down, though. He broke back and after 2.5 hours, they were level again, a set each in 3-3. Advertisement. A quarter of an hour later, Djokovic held to love for the 6th time, to stay in the set, but his level dropped at 6-5 and a loose backhand gave Wawrinka set point. Djokovic sliced a backhand wide, and the noise level in the arena went rock concert crazy. All tournament, Djokovic has had to receive treatment for some complaint or other. At 30-30 on his serve in the second game of the 4th set, he doubled up in pain after belting a forehand from deep, clutching at his groin. 2 points later, Wawrinka broke him for 2-0. Wawrinka broke to love, but Djokovic did not immediately seek medical assistance before the 4th game, perhaps suspecting it was cramp that had cut him down, and that is not treatable, as it is considered a failure in condition. He was desperate and somehow fought through 3 deuce points to hold. Then the trainer emerged. Djokovic took off his shoes and asked for a callus to be clipped from under the big toe of his left foot, as well as a quick manicure of the toes on his right foot. Refreshed, Djokovic returned to the court, and was not moving like someone with tender feet. He grabbed his 16th and 17th break points, but could not reap a dividend. And there were too many people in the arena who had much sympathy with him. At the 2-5 changeover, the trainer re-emerged to treat Djokovic's feet again. He held, somehow, again moving with freedom, and went up 2 points as Wawrinka served for the title, and his girlfriend, Belinda Bencic, could barely watch as he struggled to deuce. The Swiss won an epic rally to get to match point with a gentle dab. Djokovic sprawled on hands and knees at the back of the court, and Wawrinka raised his arms in triumph as his opponent's final shot drifted long. What a fortnight it has been. It began with Phil Collins, of Chiswick and Miami, singing In the Air Tonight, rather well, an apt choice to mark the opening of the new roof, and culminated before play on Sunday with Norm Lewis's rich baritone embracing the national anthem, after a moment of silence to mark the 15th anniversary of 9/11, as members of the U.S. Marine 6th Communications Battalion, Brooklyn, drew the stars and stripes across the court. They do have a sense of occasion in this noisy old town, and they were rewarded with a final that had pretty much everything. Thank you for watching videos like you. Remember, the channel, register and comment below. Thank you.